Another record store day is upon us. Usually I shoot all my videos in my car, but I figured, it's a fucking beautiful day. I'll shoot one from my porch. It's a record store day. Everybody knows what it is. Independent mom and pop record shops open their doors and they have all the exclusive releases, yada, yada, yada. If you're watching this video, you probably already know what record store day is. So I did not start participating in record store day until 4 years ago. I feel like that's right. And we had such a good time the first time that it just became an annual thing. But we only go to the real record store day, the one that happens on Black Friday every year. I might stop by on my way home if there was something that caught my eye, but I could live without, like if I didn't get it. There's traditionally never any releases that come out then that I personally need for my collection. So I skip the Black Friday one. But every year in April, I'm up early, I'm getting in line, I'm doing my thing. So I prefer to go to Back to the Media, which is a used video game, used movie, new and used record store with an arcade in the back. One set fee to play. Everything's set on free play, so you pay I don't know how much it is to get in, because I haven't checked it out yet, but I've been meaning to. But anyway, Back to the Media, Old Town Winchester, Virginia. If you're ever in the area, I highly recommend stopping by. If you're ever in the area for a record store day, I also hope you stop by, because it's a good one. It's a family-run business. I enjoy giving them money. Even outside of record store day, I like to pop in from time to time. It's nice. They post a list ahead of time, ask you what you're looking for, and they do their best to try to accommodate everybody within, what they're allowed to allocate. So every year I've been pretty successful. I have found all of my must-haves year over year. Some of my, maybe if I see it, I haven't won all of those. So I want to go through what I did get. They're not all record store day releases, because once I get through all that, I'm going to go dig through the bins too, because they always do a super cool restock. So the first 50 customers today, I believe was the number, got this poster that you saw in the thumbnail, which is pretty neat. That's what they used to advertise that the event was coming up. Every year, they also give you some stickers, and who doesn't need stickers for something, right? I think I've actually got this one a couple times over, but I just keep putting it in random spots. This is a new one. I'm anxious, but I don't know if I put it on the cover of my turntable or if it goes on my record shelf. I don't know. Comment what you think. So I'm just going to get into what I got. So first, this was an impulse purchase because all of the 7 inches were sitting by the register, and I decided to check out Violet Grohl's little 2-song record here. I heard her sing when Foo Fighters was doing, I don't remember the name of the song. Maybe it was The Teacher, I think. It was the one that Dave wrote for his mom off the last record, But Here We Are. And I know that she was on the road with him, and I caught some live footage. And she's got a hell of a voice. Call it nepotism or whatever, but the girl's got talent. Of course she does. How could you not, coming from Dave Grohl, right? The less we talk about that, the better. But anyway, decided to give that a check. Why not? Next is something that I didn't know I needed until I saw it on the list. And that is Adam Sandler's They're All Gonna Laugh at You. Pressed on orange vinyl. Includes exclusive sticker sheet, exclusive magnet sheet, both featuring characters from skits on the album. An Adam medium pace air freshener. I think that's a nice touch. Plus new album cover illustration. This was limited to 2,250 copies. God, what good stuff. Lunch Ladyland, Adam medium pace, Fatty McGee. Can't go wrong. I've never bought a comedy album outside of buying some Weird Al, but that's different because it's still music. Anyway, I digress. This one, I was really excited. The Scott Weiland live album right here. It's only 9 songs, which I wish it could be longer, but, I'll take what I can get. You've got a mix of STP tunes on here. You've got one Velvet Revolver tune, and then you got his solo stuff. I'm really happy to know that Missing Cleveland is on here. I fucking love that song. And funny enough, I forgot how much I loved that song until I think it might have been last year, Record Store Day. They had, I believe it was the Missing in Cleveland 7-inch. It had a B-side. I don't remember what it was, but I remember being happy with that. I wish they would just quit fucking around and go ahead and give us a press of Happy in Galoshes, his second solo album. His first solo album, 12 Bar Blues, I found that the first Record Store Day I went to. That was nice. So next we've got Stone Temple Pilots live at Rolling Rock 2001. Any of you people that used to buy greatest hits albums, just buy CDs in general, the Stone Temple Pilots greatest hits, the album called Thank You, with the blue sky and the flowers and shit. There was a deluxe version that came with a DVD. That was the version that I just happened to come across. A lot of greatest hits albums back then did that. Manson's did, the Chili Peppers did, and all the DVDs had like their entire music video history up until that point. So the STP one was cool because yes, it had all those music videos, but it had a fuck ton of live footage. And there was all this footage of Scott actually looking somewhat healthy with this bleach-ass blonde hair, tight black pants. And there was a lot of footage from that show on here. And this is that show. Coma, Vaseline, Meat Plow, Big Empty, Piece of Pie, Tripping on a Hole in a Paper Heart, Long Way Home, Hollywood Bitch, Interstate Love Song, Plush, Sour Girl, Creep, Days of the Week, Down, Dead and Bloated, Sex Type Thing. Like, they were touring for Shangri-La Da, very underrated album. The last album that they did together before they broke up, which Velvet Revolver wasn't long after that. So that's kind of at the end prime STP. I'm excited to give that a spin. I'm not gonna skip over this one. This is the last Record Store Day release I picked up, and it's not even for me. We got Jeff Buckley live at Olympia. This is not for me. This is for my son. He has become a big Jeff Buckley fan. He's been just discovering music on his own. Growing up with me, obviously he's well versed in Local H, Pearl Jam, STP, all the good stuff. Some of it he likes, some of it he doesn't. He found his own way, and he discovered Jeff Buckley on his own. He's a big fan. He was super excited the other day when he came home because he had some time to kill, so he went to the same record store, and he found himself a copy of Jeff Buckley's album, Grace. He came home, he showed it to me, and I said, it's kind of funny because if, when I'm digging through the bins at Record Store Day, if I come across that, I would have probably picked it up for you. So I didn't have to, but this was already on my list. So if any of his friends are watching right now, before he gets to know about that, you can spoil it for him if you want. I think that's a hilarious way to find out, right? But anyway, let's move on to the stuff I found in the bins. So first, I picked up this, I know it's an unofficial copy of Down to Earth by Ozzy. I fucking love this album. This was the year this came out. Was the year I graduated high school, and the following year was the first year I went to Ozfest. So getting to hear Gets Me Through live. I never heard it again after that tour, but it was cool. That was God, Ozzy. Am I right? Let's just move on from that. This next one, years ago I sold my previous record collection, or at least a vast majority of it, because I didn't make a lot of money at the time. I had some car trouble, and I needed to get some money for some parts, so I sold my entire record collection. It took me a few years after getting settled down from those times to finally start building a record collection again. One of the collections inside the collection that I was most disappointed to lose was my Foo Fighters. So I have since built a bigger one because they've got more albums since then. I mean, we're talking many, many years ago. 10 at least, longer than that. But anyway, the only albums I'm missing from my collection are ones that I used to have, and they're ones you can get any old day of the week. But I decided today I needed to put the color and the shape back into my collection. This album was my introduction to Foo Fighters. I was living in England when it came out, and I didn't get to hear anything that was going on in the States as much, because in England at that time, if it wasn't the Spice Girls or it wasn't Oasis, and a little bit of Radiohead sprinkled in from time to time, some Jamiroquai, some Kylie Minogue, that was all you heard out there. So I missed Foo Fighters. But all of a sudden I catch a video for their song Everlong, and I saw their pictures in magazines before. I'm like, this is a drummer from Nirvana. I got to check this band out. So when I saw the Everlong video, I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic song. Weird, trippy-ass video, but it caught my ear. So when I found a copy of that album, I decided to buy the CD and give it a listen. I remember the first time I heard it, I listened to it twice in its entirety. As soon as it was done, I just started it right back over again. Fantastic album. Huge Dave Grohl fan. I mean, obviously, father and daughter together in my pile for the day. Very interesting. They're on the road this summer, too. Hope you're checking them out. I will be there in D.C. For Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age. I feel like, what a lineup. Like, that's going to be awesome. And that's after I go to see Weird Al. But anyway, last one I got another, I feel like it's probably an unofficial pressing, just because I didn't, or maybe I just didn't know that it exists. But sometimes they sound great, and they'll hold you by because you don't want to spend the fucking asinine amount of dollars to get, the original presses. As long as it sounds good, I don't care. But I decided Marilyn Manson's Portrait of an American Family. Growing up, I was not the biggest fan of Manson. It wasn't until Mechanical Animals that he grabbed me. There was something about that album that I fucking fell in love with. Still my favorite album of his to this day. But after that, when Hollywood came out, I was a big fan. Golden Age of Grotesque, when that came out, I fucking loved it. And then that was the year that Manson was at Ozfest, right after Korn and before Ozzy, when Jason Newsted was playing for Ozzy. So pretty much the end of Manson before he kind of turned into a train wreck for a little while. His, what was the album called? Assassination of God, I think, or One Assassination Under God, Part 1. That album was fantastic. If you haven't heard it yet, I highly recommend it. It's got that old angry Manson, but with his I'm not so fucked up kind of, life that he's got now. He's sober. It sounds great. Saw some live clips. Looks like his performances are better too. But yeah, really big fan of Manson. At least I used to be. I go back and forth. Anyway, did you go to Record Store Day today? If so, what'd you get? Comment it. What were you looking for? What were you looking for? You want to know what I did not get? So here were the albums that I did not find today. But they were not important enough for me to go and check another record store in town, which I did last year for the first Chevelle album. Was a Record Store Day exclusive last year. And Back to the Media had already sold out by the time I got to the bin. So I went and checked out another place, and they just happened to have a copy there. So I was pretty happy with that. Because that was almost damn it, love me some Chevelle. So, yeah, this year's would have been nice to have. There was, I don't remember, I think it was from 86, maybe a little later. I could have the year wrong. Pretty sure it's from the 5150 era, but it was a live Van Halen record. So far, every year they've had a Van Halen release, I've always snatched it up. Like Live Right Here, Right Now was the one year. Live at Wembley last year was one that I regret buying because it's not even the full show. It's just a handful of tracks. Still sounds good, but that's why I wasn't as bummed that I didn't see it this year. There was a Weezer record. I don't remember the title of it, but it was a bunch of demos. Back to the Media only got one copy of that, and apparently that one person who needed it was in front of me in line. But again, am I really going to listen to the demo stuff? Probably not. Maybe once or twice. It's just going to sit on the shelf. When you get a collection that's big enough, sometimes this is how you justify your decisions. I caught wind after the fact of John Frusciante having something out today. I've never heard his solo work, but I'm a huge fan of what he does for the Chili Peppers. So that was an album that if I happened to come across it today, I would have grabbed it. But that was not meant to be. The last one, Mark Lanegan. Never really listened to any of his solo stuff either, but he had one out today. Again, it was only the one copy. Somebody in front of me in line needed it more than I did, or they just beat me to it. But that would have been one that was cool to check out. But it's not like imperative that I have those. I'm not gonna lose my shit over not having that in my collection. So, Record Store Day 2026. I'm glad that there weren't a lot of stuff that I needed, because that would have been expensive. It would have been a pricey day. But it was still a good day. The weather was fucking beautiful. It still is. So yeah, did you go? What'd you get? Let me know. Later.